Good evening, everybody. Dr. McMillan, Dr. Washburn, Dr. Machen, Dr. Campbell, Sheriffs, Chiefs, Grayson College, Board of Trustees, Dr. Debbie Kleiler, Mr. Ronnie Cole, and Mr. Terrence Steele. TRPA Advisory Board members, colleagues, instructors, family, and friends, my name is Mary Parle, and I'm the director of the Texoma Regional Police Academy here at Grayson College. This is definitely an exciting day as we celebrate the hard work and success of the cadets of Cadet Class number 28. The dedication of the cadets was without a doubt amazing as they maintained a class average of 95% throughout the academy, having taken 15 exams, and the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement state licensure exam, which I'm happy to report was 100% pass rate. It is my honor to present to you the cadets of the Texoma Regional Police Academy, Cadet Class number 28, led in by TRPA instructor Ryan Havoc. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise at this time for the posting of the colors by the Grayson County Sheriff's Department Honor Guard.
All uniform personnel, freeze and halt! I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On guard, all uniform personnel, yellow order, halt!
Please be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Jeremy McMillan, President of Grayson College.
Thank you, Professor Powell. Welcome, and This is a great afternoon to celebrate our graduates. Thank you for attending the 2024 Grayson College Commencement Ceremony for the Texoma Regional Police Academy. As she mentioned, I'm Dr. Jeremy McMillan. I have the honor of serving as the 5th president of Grayson College. Graduates, cadets, I'm proud of the great faculty and staff at the college. Today, our faculty and staff are gathered here in celebration of your accomplishments. You've been educated by the best faculty and assisted by the best staff. Faculty and staff, would you please stand? Let's give them a round of applause. Graduates, you've been supported by some amazing people in the audience in front of you, your family and friends that helped you to get to this point. Let's also give them a round of applause. Grayson College is a premier learning college that transforms individuals, builds communities, and inspires excellence. We want you to form early connections with the college. We want you to commit to your studies and complete what you started. Graduates, here you are. Joining a network of hundreds of people who have gone through our police academy and a network of over 35,000 Viking alumni. Graduates, we are honored to share this day with you. We're here to celebrate you, and we know that you're well prepared to go out and protect and build our community. Let's give our graduates a round of applause.
At this time, we would like to introduce you to the valedictorian of class number 28, Richard Bloom, and ask Richard to come forward and say a few words.
Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm honored that I was asked to share a little with you about our time here over the last several months. First, I'd like to mention there were several people whose grades here were exceptional and exemplary, and while only one of us can speak to you tonight, this evening, I think it's necessary that we recognize those that performed academically well. You can rest assured none of the tests were easy. When you consider the sheer volume of the information that had to be understood and committed to memory, anyone that passed this course, especially those that maintained an A average while managing their work and family obligations, did an excellent job. So, I'm sure most of you, if not all, have heard the expression, protect and serve. The origin of this came from the 1955 Los Angeles Police Department's Police Academy. They were looking for a motto. Since then, this has been adopted by many departments across the country, and the public has resonated with it, and they come to expect this from their officers. So as I sat down to compose these remarks tonight, service to others has emerged as a common thread that I witnessed throughout my time in this academy. And I saw this from my peers and my instructors alike. I don't know if this virtue can be taught or mandated. I tend to believe that it's embedded in the character of the finest people. And it's put on display in the best and worst of times, and can reveal itself in the minute and grandiose ways. Since I find criminal justice interesting, the academic portion came to me with less difficulty. The Achilles heel at my age was the physical training. And while it would be much easier to talk about my successes, it was when I struggled most that my classmates exceeded my expectations and exhibited this service to others. During physical training, I made every effort to perform so that I wouldn't impede the progress of my peers. But despite my efforts, I was simply outmatched by their strength and their youth. Despite how much I wanted to complete this course, I privately made the decision that if I hindered their progress, I would bow out gracefully. But my concerns were unfounded. On the contrary, it was during the depths of my struggles here that they rose to the occasion, and each of them exemplified the service to others, presently. Moreover, they did this not because they felt some obligation or because an authority figure mandated that they help others, but rather this came of their own free will. And it's ingrained in who they are as a person. Allow me to share a few examples of this that left an indelible impression on me. In one physical training session, I remember not wanting to slow down the group. So I told Rose that I would remain inside and utilize the treadmill, while the rest of them jogged around the campus. To which Rose just smiled, threw his arm around my neck, and said, as he dragged me outside, "I don't expect you to be the best, I just want you to do your best." It was also on these same runs that Ice, despite his competitive nature, would forgo his own glory of being first across the finish line, and instead he would drift to the back of the line to inspire and coach me. I appreciate his effort because I know the sacrifice he made in doing that. He always told me if I wanted to break, it'll be at the finish line, but whatever you do, don't stop jogging. Don't walk, keep running. And it was at that finish line of these runs that I remember Spindle, Marriage, Davis, and Sullivan, and others waiting and cheering me on to push forward and make that last 100 yards my best. It's important to note here, they could have finished their run, gone about their own business, enjoyed some free time before class. But in the spirit to others, they not only gave up their time, but they made a point to wait and encourage those whose running skill was less than their own. Their attitude was, we're not done until we're all done. And it wasn't only the physical training that I struggled with. I remember the steps and the lines to the standard field sobriety tests. Yet again, when I was at a weak point, is when my peers stepped up and lived to the maximum service to others. I recall Hanson being incredulous that I could deliver on so many tests, yet stumble over this exercise, and how he chastised me with impunity for that. But it was this vehement faith in me that forced me to get it right. And I appreciated him for that. And it was Floden and Spindle who offered themselves up to be practice partners, and they would review with me and critique me until I had my delivery correct. And I appreciated them for that. And Reams, when I was tested over that, insisted on being my partner while I was being tested. I think he felt like he was going to do his part so well that he could shoulder me through mine. And Waldron, whose organizational skills are second to none, was an expert at keeping up with the course, its objectives, and she always kept us informed of things that were coming up so that we would all be successful. Our instructors also exhibited their propensity for service to others beyond the requirements of just doing a job. Ryan Havoc enlisted the help of his family to train us, and that spoke volumes to me. You don't ask the ones you value the most to help you unless you believe in what you're doing and you believe in its value and its service to others. Jeremy Dunn was another instructor. He spent the vast majority of the time with us. He offered us insight for all the vast number of years on the force, and he fielded calls and texts from us at all hours, never a complaint. Mary Pyle, our esteemed director, exhibited her service to others by always making herself available to answer questions, use her contacts to help us find job needs, and she provided us all this valuable information that we will use indefinitely. Additionally, what impressed me about her was that any time, day or night, if you sent her a text message or email, you could expect a reply within minutes. This is not the mentality of somebody that works 9 to 5, but someone that believes in working tirelessly so that we can be successful. So in closing, I leave you a quote from Muhammad Ali. Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. So my hope for all the graduates, as you encounter people on your job as an officer, even when they make it difficult, that you continue to practice this service to others. And I want you to leave everyone you meet with the same positive impression of you that you left with me. Thank you all for that.
Our guest speaker this evening is Sheriff Mark Johnson from the Fannin County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Johnson began his career in law enforcement in 1980 with the Silver Springs Police Department as a dispatcher with a salary of $800 a month. Hello. 1983, he moved to the Hopkins County Sheriff's Office as a jailer, and in 1987, he became a jailer and dispatcher for the Rains County Sheriff's Office and was later promoted to jail administrator. Sheriff Johnson attended the East Texas Police Academy in 1988 while working full-time and having sole custody of his young daughter. He became a deputy sheriff for Rains County Sheriff's Office with a starting salary of $1,500 per month. How times have changed. He and his young daughter moved to Fannin County in 1992 so that he could be a police officer with the Honey Grove Police Department. Since being in Fannin County, Sheriff Johnson has served the cities of Savoy and Honey Grove as their chief of police for a total of 18 years. He was sworn in as the Fannin County Sheriff in 2017 and plans to retire at the end of this year with a law enforcement career spanning 44 years, fulfilling a childhood dream and not one single regret with his decision to become a police officer. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome Sheriff Mark Johnson.
Good afternoon. Thank y'all for allowing me to come up here tonight, Barry. Thank you very much. This is an exciting night for me as well because it brings back a lot of old memories. Hard to rekindle old memories, but I do tonight. I remember this night very well when we graduated in 1988. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of effort, hard work that we did, a commitment to do a job well done. I want to tell you a little story about me and what motivated me to be who Mark Johnson is today. As a little boy, I was raised up in a family of 8. My daddy was an alcoholic. My daddy was very abusive to my mother and stuff, and I used to pray at night that God would help me find a way to stop that. So I prayed to be a police officer. I always had admired law enforcement. I watched them on TV all the time, and I always wanted to do it. And I prayed to God, and God had a sense of humor. He brought me in 1980 and brought me to the police department where I started out as a dispatcher. And then I learned throughout my years, it helped me be the person I am by doing each one of these steps in law enforcement. Because it gives you an idea of what every person does, every dispatcher, every jailer, every position that's available. I've been in that job. I've served as a criminal investigator, I've served as a homicide investigator, I've served as a drug enforcement officer for the sheriff's office, worked a lot of narcotics, enjoyed it, loved it. I hope that each one of you sitting here tonight that can enjoy this job as much as I do. I love what I do. It's the only job I've ever had in my life that I love going to work every day. And my mother, before she passed away, asked me, said, son, you really love working at the top. I said, I love being at the top. Almost the only job I ever had that I truly love going to work every day. I don't even like missing work, but I enjoy it that much. You go to work, you be responsible, and you be honest. Always stand for who you are, never tell a story, never alter the truth, not one word of it. Be true to who you are, be honest. We all do things that are fun. We get out here and we get in high-speed chases and stuff, and we forget what the law really is and what we should be doing, the principles of what we should be following. Then when you become the administrator in office, you say, y'all know that Bush's beans, I can't remember that dog, Duke, I think it was, he said, roll that footage, and he won't see that footage. Now as a sheriff, that's the first thing, I've seen Sheriff Potts here too, he can attest to this. Roll that footage and let's be sure our deputies didn't do anything wrong, because we had to prevent lawsuits and stuff. Always remember why you're doing what you're doing. Never forget the purpose of why we're here. We're here to serve the citizens of the county that we work for, the citizens of the cities that we work for. I just hope that you can put forth the effort and love that job as much as I do. And I think, I know Sheriff Watts and the others feel the same way. You can't be in this job unless, I don't think that we're ever just pick this job and say, that's the job I want to be. I want to be a cop today. I think God put you in these positions because it's truly in your heart to want to serve others. And when I say serve others, you serve others in different ways. You protect them from wrongdoing. You see that their rights are protected. And, you know, just like a sheriff, you're the last stamp of the Constitution. And we all want to do the right thing and serve well to others. I just hope that each one of you will find it in your heart to always remember as you're out patrolling around in your patrol cars, when you see an elderly person out there struggling, put that poly card out by the road. It doesn't hurt to stop that car for 5 seconds and get out and say, let me do that for you. Or you see that person stranded on the side of the road that's got a flat tire, whether it be a young kid or be an elderly person, it doesn't matter. If you have a minute, you can stop. The worst thing that we did in the beginning of the time of law enforcement, I don't know if y'all remember the story, and they probably told it to you, but in the beginning of the time of law enforcement, community policing was a big thing, and that back in the 1800s, where you actually, the police officers walked the beat, and they were out and everyone seen them, and they loved that. The worst thing happened to us, they put us in the car. It made services faster. We could respond quicker and get there quicker and do things better. Or faster anyway, I'm not saying better. But then we pulled ourselves away from the citizens and we don't do things as good as we used to do, and we're not connected to the citizens of the city and counties that we should be. And you can make that difference. Each one of you can make that difference. And just stop and take a few minutes out of your day to do something. It doesn't have to be for any reason at all. And you should never want acknowledgement for anything you do, because I can tell you this, there's no Mark Johnson sitting over in the corner waiting for you to do that deed so I can come and give you something and reward you for what you did. I used to see my deputies do stuff, and I would go buy gift certificates and give them because it said in my heart that what they're doing, they really mean and love the community they serve. And that's what you should all want to do. This job is not just about putting people in jail. You do that as a part of it. You do write tickets and you work a lot of wrecks and stuff. And always remember, never say, well, really having a quiet day today, because that doesn't work out well for us. That all of you officers out there will recognize that. I've done that a few times. I said, one day I said, I haven't worked at a wreck in over a year. I had 3 that day. I said, yep, the message comes through. Don't use the Q word. Always be the guy always be the officer who will stand up and do the right thing. Be honest and show as much integrity and professionalism in every decision that you make. Be that guy who never needs anyone to tell him what to do. You can, or the lady, be that officer, let's use the correct word, that can do things without having anyone tell them what to do. because those are the ones that we as administrators sit back and watch for. Those are your sergeants and lieutenants in the making. They're building their own careers, and we're watching for them, because that's the person I always look for in my agency, is the one that stands out above and beyond. They said, what is a sergeant? A sergeant, just what I said, someone who can do the job with little or no attention at all. It doesn't need me standing on their corner. They're able to do it, make decisions, and show me how it's done. That's the kind of person I like to see. But community policing is always a strong effort for me. I've always put a lot into it. Still today I do. I used to make every event around the county. Didn't matter what it was. Non-political, it didn't matter. Because I wanted the community to know that I was their sheriff, and I loved them, and I wanted to be there for them. I didn't ask my officers to do anything because I didn't have enough of them to divide out and say, okay, I want you to go do this for me. Some of them would volunteer to do Christmas parades and stuff for me, but for the main part, I didn't ask that. I did it because I liked it. It's being part of the community, and that's who you are. Don't forget who you are. And the whole fun thing I was going to tell you about is always follow the policies when they're written out to you. They'll sit you down, give them the first week or two that you're employed at this agency. They'll give you a computer with all these policies and procedures on it. Be sure to go through them, because your name will be on the bottom of those policies one day. Nobody wants to be on the policy in their name. We all have one, I'm sure. But don't be that guy or that lady that gets a policy written in their name. That's not what we're here for. We're here to do follow policies and procedures, be that person the community can trust. And you will hear a lot of negative things in our lifetime. We hear people say, we don't like law enforcement stuff anymore. And for every one person that doesn't like you, you'll have 500 that do. So don't let that one person get you down. Feel positive. It's kind of like social media. People like getting on there and saying things that they would normally say, but don't be that. Always be proud of your uniform, wear it in the utmost respect for the community that you serve. When I put mine on, I feel like a young kid again all over, because I think it's very admirable to wear it. It distinguishes who you are, and it shows authority of your position. That badge and $3 will get you a cup of coffee. Your personality will get you all the respect that you ever wanted. You give it, you'll get it back. I hope each and every one of you, families as well, that's sitting out there today that have their children sitting up here graduating tonight, may God be with y'all. God will be with you and take care of each and every one of you. Always remember, you have a mission, and your mission is to go home at night. When your shift's over, you will go home. Thank you for allowing me to come up here tonight. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you, Sheriff. Now I'd like to recognize the two top award-winning cadets with help of Dr. McMillan. The Top Gun Award goes to the cadet who receives the highest score during the weapons qualification course. The Top Gun for class number 28 is Jared Reams. The class valedictorian is awarded to the cadet who has the highest class average throughout. With an overall class average of 97.9%, the class valedictorian for class number 28 is Richard Bloom. The Texoma Regional Police Academy has a rich history at Grayson College, having graduated its first cadet back in 1970. At that time, the required training was just 190 hours. Today, cadets are required to complete a minimum of 736 hours of training as mandated by the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, or TCOL. However, the cadets before you today have completed nearly 874 training hours, which included not only the mandated courses, but daily physical fitness, taser, baton, OC spray, patrol rifle certifications, as well as practicals. They've been tired both mentally and physically, but at no time did anyone ever want to quit. Law enforcement is truly a calling for each of them. Let us take a quick look back through their time here.
Yeah, somebody's
Cadets of class number 28, I wish I could find the words to tell you just how proud I am of each of you. You began your academy journey on August 16th of last year as independent cadets, and today you're graduating as one. Over the last 9 months, you've received instruction in 45 subject areas to include arrest, search, and seizure, the penal code, the code of criminal procedure, traffic, criminal investigations, and firearms. You pushed, you challenged each other, and you've built friendships and a brotherhood that will last a lifetime. Always remember that even after you leave here and begin your careers, I will always be just a phone call away. Know that I will also call on you to assist in future classes. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge my amazing instructors from Sherman PD, the Grayson County Sheriff's Office, Collin County Sheriff's Office, Texas Department of Public Safety, Texas Alcohol and Beverage Commission, and the Grayson County DA's office, just to name a few. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, experiences to provide the cadets with the tools that they will need to make them successful in their law enforcement careers. You are truly the reason this academy is as successful as it is and one of the best in North Texas. Dr. McMillan, Dr. Washburn, members of the Board of Trustees, thank you for your trust in me and giving me the opportunity to train future officers for our surrounding communities. At this time, I ask the cadets to please step forward to receive their certificates with the help of Dr. Kim. Richard Bloom. Galen Davis with Anna Fire Department. Katie Floated. Kiefer Hansen with the Grayson County Sheriff's Department. Victor Ice. Dakota Marish with the Gainesville Police Department. Jared Reams. Cletus Rose with Collin County District Court. Robert Spindle with Trenton PD. John Sullivan. And Ashton Walder. You have definitely been a class like no other. So, on my days that I was tested, because Lord knows you guys all texted me at all hours and emailed me at all hours, but I do respond. Yes, Jared, you were one of the ones that did it the most. But I think every time I walked into their academy, that Victor always knew the sun wasn't right. So the first thing he would do was say nothing to me, but give me a hug. So, all of you, I appreciate you very much. At this time, I would like the agencies to come forward and swear in your new officers. Kiefer, we'll start with you.
offer or promise to pay. Offer to pay. Promise to pay. Contribute or promise to contribute. Contribute or promise. Any money or valuable thing. Promise any public office or employment. Promise any public office or employment. As a reward to secure any appointment. As a reward to secure. For such deputy. For such deputy. So help me God.
So this is Mom pinning on the badge. It is my privilege to introduce to you Deputy Keeper Hanson.
Next is Robert Spindle, or as I call him, Opie. He is sworn in by his chief with turkey duty. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our newest Texas police officers.